Do it. Fuck yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Beehive. Together, we will buzz like buzzy bees and create honey, beautiful, amazing creations from the depths of our heart. Do you ever feel alone when creating, isolated, separated, and you just want to be in a community of fellow buzzing bees? Would you like to create your own colony of creation? Would you like to buzz with fellow other bees, be connected, interconnected, interrelated? Would you like to get your own colony buzzing with honey, with beauty, with greatness, with your genius? And then once that honeybee's overflowing, what will you do? You'll go start more honeycombs, more honey hives. And together we shall grow and let this grassroots organic operation spread for humanity. And together we shall experience infinite intelligence, intuition, genius together and be heard and exercise our intuition, exercise these muscles and really get clear on what is in your heart of hearts. Join us. Let's build your beehive today. Get started. We look forward to buzzing with you. P.S. I love you. Let's do this. Let's get buzzing.
I love that. I really love that.
Sounds like a nice commercial.
OMG.
Yeah, I'm glad to let that just come through me like it did. Thank you for sharing and hearing me, guys. Thank you for letting me channel that with you.
Yeah.
And yes, and what would anybody like to add to that? What do you see?
From that, Joe, is what I say we opened with, or what this session was structured as, was we gather, right? We break through, and then we scatter. How else would you change the world? Foundation matters, which is truth, value, which is people's genius, which is choice. So ABC, aware, you're being charged. I'm complete.
Yeah. Beautiful.
How else? Annette, I saw Annette. Joe, would you invite Annette in?
Yes, I'd love to. Annette, it is a pleasure and an honor to welcome you into this buzzing beehive. What would be your word or your share of the day? Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for that nice intro and invitation. Originally, I was sitting with the word incognito. And as I'm logging in, I realized that is not the choice of my word today. And instead, the word of the day for me is the word choice. I choose to be triggered. I choose to show up. I choose to let people do things to me, control me. I choose to give them an extra chance over and over and over again. I choose to let them manipulate me over and over and over again. I choose to chase them. And yet every day I write in my lenses, I choose to live a life I love, and I hate doing all that other stuff. So my word today is choice. And my choice today is to stop choosing to please the other people and choose to please me. So that's my word of the day.
Preach it, sister.
Why so many stops?
Because it's so many people.
No, it's just one. It's you.
Yeah. Well, stop me, yes. And probably my other personality is the one that, goes to school, the other one that goes
What
to the
is
grocery
stop?
store.
What is stop? What is stop? Stop is avoiding. Stop is a no, and your unconscious can't hear it.
Right. It's
That's
not
so you're in that pattern. That's why you can't break that pattern. You got to choose what you want. So rather than stopping, it's like, what do you choose?
Yes.
Great. Choose that
Yes.
then.
Choose it. Because you're not
Yes.
stopping that, you're choosing it.
Yes. No stop. Don't stop anything because it's there.
Oh.
You're in your power. Thank you.
Yes. So whenever I would say to somebody else, stop it, they wouldn't. They continue on. So no respect for my stop, and I'm not respecting my own stop. I got to choose.
Yeah. And what do you choose?
I choose to live a life I love. I choose to
Mm-hmm.
be happy. I choose to create my life.
Mm-hmm. And where do you see that when you look at it?
I'm looking straight at the screen when I'm saying that.
Yeah. What does it feel like? Where do you feel it?
Scary.
That's your wobble. Just ask what it is. And what do you do when you see the wobble?
Actually, I turn and look to the right.
Then what?
I'm vibrating inside right now.
And then?
And I have to breathe through it.
And then?
Sit in that tension. Don't run away from it because it'll stay there. It doesn't go away until you sit in it and you face it. And choose the easy door to go out.
Yes, and?
Mm-hmm.
That is how you change boulders.
Yeah. So like I said, my original word was incognito, which is the opposite of choice. I just realized that.
And weird that I wasn't going to put you in the spotlight right here, but so it made sense. As soon as you said incognito, it made sense.
Yes. I didn't connect it till just now.
I know, right? Me neither, but that's what happens when we move on. And see, now we have the giggle. See the giggle now,
Yes.
so that we know that we're flowing with the giggle.
Yeah, we are. There's a smile.
Wonderful. Love you. Love you.
Great. Thank you.
Ooh, I'm probably getting close to the top of the hour. Oh yeah, 2 minutes. Someone can tell me what the value of that is. Release. Thanks, Nikki. Powerful, big love in it. Yes. Thanks, Lynn.
The power is in the awareness and the experience.
And gee, how many shifts did we have in 15 minutes? Everyone on the call, I imagine, did. How else would you change the world? Infinite structure. Yeah, Pascal.
Yeah, for me, I always think like I had the best call. I'm like, oh, this was the best call, and then like this morning, I'm like, well, this was the best call, and just like
61, right?
And I don't even know like where it's gonna go, but it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, just people that aren't here are missing out.
Yeah, big time.
Getting behind. Oh,
Yeah. And yeah, it's just, again, like, it's just the value of a coach, because we don't see our trigger, we don't see our blind spot, you know, because we've been running them like for years and years and years. And it's in that kind of group that, like, you know, we all tuned in. Like, it's amazing, because like we all see a different perspective, and then when you hear people, it's just like, just with the tone of voice, like anything, like, you know, I don't even see their face right now, and just like, you know, you can just hear it, like when they release that emotion, or it's just amazing.
Oh, and how much more valuable is it to see people's faces?
Yeah, well, that's just another layer that,
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's much deeper. And it's like some people will pay more money to have that, make better offers to be a part of it, because it is how we build. It is how we gather tighter in our beehive. Remember the fundamental structure.
yeah.
Yes, and I think it's powerful though when it's just voice, because we're so easily distracted. This is why a lot of the time I've just got my camera off, because it's like
I'm
the
on.
eyes are around, they want to judge, they want to assess. Do you know what I mean? But like if it's just sound, it's like you're losing one of your senses, so it increases. So yeah, I think people will appreciate being seen and but having this interplay connection. But I think there is power in just the voice.
Was this a coaching session?
I don't know.
I didn't. I guess I didn't. What was nice is I didn't have that boundary today. That was cool. I didn't hold that boundary today.
Yeah. Well, these are just discoveries, heart discoveries. And if we want to make it better and more valuable, just share
You'll show
it.
up. You'll show up. I mean, let's make it. Look, guys, we try to complicate it so much. Let's just make it simple.
Yeah, that's the first step, right?
So in that, I heard listening. It's like, oh, we're listening, we're engaging, we're experiencing. It's like all of that is value. Yeah. So thank you for being here and engaging with it, because it sucks alone.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Creating together.
Create together. That's it.
And it's boring hearing herself over and over.
Yeah. Yep. Right on.
Yeah. Bouncing ideas.
I'd love to hear from other people that haven't had the floor yet. Is there anyone that hasn't been felt invited in?
I haven't been invited yet.
Is there anyone else that doesn't feel that they are equal?
Okay, want to come into the house?
Not yet, Joe.
Thank you for the invitation, Joe. My word for the day is just observation and listen. I discovered this morning by just listening and observing what's happening in the coaching sessions here that I have found my own patterns of people pleasing and not taking care of myself in these conversations and being equal. whether it's a business relationship or a personal relationship or just a friendship. It's important in all three of those aspects. And without being aware of our stuff, we cannot shift not only ourselves, and we can't change how people respond to us, but we can shift ourselves, how we respond to situations. And people tend to just respond differently when we do shift. And it's always not in a favorable way that we would want.
Hmm.
And we can't control that. So we have to sit with our own feelings about those situations and decide how we choose to be.
What do you choose for today, Mona?
I just choose peace today. Again, just peace.
Are you at peace choosing peace?
Yes. Just saying that word takes the stress out from between my shoulder blades that's been sitting there. Has Craig been invited in?
No, he hasn't.
Craig? I thought that was you when you spoke up. I would like to invite you into the circle of love in this awesome coaching session this morning. What is your word of the day?
Thank you, Mona. Thank you for your presence here too. The word I'm bringing with me today is laughter. Any excuse to laugh is a good one.
How old is that laugh?
Very. It's a few millennia old, actually, to be honest. It's been hiding for a while, let's say. Thank you, Jesse.
What would he like to say?
Mm. He just wants to cry for a moment.
It's part of our being.
Yeah. Oh, and he's heart-centered. My goodness. Oh. There's a bright red ball it's an ember that just showed up right in the middle of my heart. And it's warm and it's glowing. Ooh, and it's powerful. And it's joyful. Oh my. And it's true. And it wants to start some fires. But it wants to warm up my feet first.
Mm. Mm. Will just joined us, so whenever you're complete, Craig, I would here I honor your genius, Craig. I honor your gifts of intuition, of wisdom, of history, of knowledge, information, you know. And thank you for like kicking this off, making this possible. It's like planting the idea. So it's like day 61, as I say, we celebrate that together. And you've been here every day. Yeah.
I would like to add on to that too. For Craig, as I met him in San Diego personally, and we had some chats, and the laughter, I always left laughing and have a big smile on my face, because that's what he does. He's the act of service 24/7. And I know you can't put that on a person because there's a lot of expectations, but it doesn't matter if you're with him personally or you on the phone or you got a text or you just call him up or you just ask him a question. He's always there. He's like a rock, solid as rock. And I got to say thank you to that, because, yeah.
Yes, amen to that. Agreed. Love you, man. Love you all. Craig, you're a powerhouse, brother. It's because as well he's took it so deep throughout life. He's got that comfortability in delving into places that even us can get uncomfortable. So I think his power's there as well.
Thank you, everyone. Big love, big gratitude. So it's my pleasure and privilege to invite Will into the space. And Will, please bring your bounce into here. I want to laugh with you this morning.
Oh, yeah, just woke up, so just grabbed a coffee. Don't have a word yet. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Hey, how about that? I'll go with that.
Will's word is I don't know.
Yep.
Again. Weird.
What's weird?
I don't know.
Is that Jesse? Is that your word, Jesse?
I think it's been a theme today. You've just missed out. That's all.
Slept in.
Well, Craig, why don't you catch Will up of what we've done?
Oh my.
I'm going to simplify that for everyone as you worked on that, Craig. What are we inviting Will into? Because then it's his choice to come in. So we can make the invitation very shallow. As you go through again, you'll see where you've made invitations shallow. And then you'll see where there's invitations that were really deep, really meaningful, really impactful, really valuable, so that people want to come back. And the bouncing ball is because a bouncing ball has a huge metaphor in this group. So to aim that at Will stepping into a situation, he's just woken up. He's got his coffee. Will, I haven't even got my coffee yet. Man, I'm getting ready
Me
to go
neither.
do it, and I'm getting ready to go deliver it so that I'm happily married here. You know, you guys know my routine, yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's like Will doesn't know what we just did for an hour or whatever it is, yeah. It's like, so when we bring him in, like when we invite people into it, it's like the hive is already somewhere. We've already been generating our honey right in the hive, and then a new bee comes in. What do? Do you keep, I mean, that's the world. It's mine. Or do you let them in and catch them right up where you're at so that they join you on your acceleration? Yes, that's an infinity structure. That's a creative structure. Boom. So with that, it's like, that is what I say when I say we invite people into the group. Was we invite them where the group's already at, because we got the momentum, suck them right in with where we're going. That's flow. So with that, I'm going to turn that back to Craig. Craig, you can have responsibility till Will is complete with what he's here for, because he's gathered. He's here for a breakthrough, which is everyone is, and then we're going to scatter. So let's do that in 5 minutes.
So another word, like you bring equality. That's what you've been saying, Jesse, right?
Here's what's come to me from the participation that I've had so far. And that is, all of us want to change the world. And most of the conversation today has been around partnership. In some way or another. And we explored, we've talked about business partnerships, we've talked about marriage partnerships and touched on them. We talked about interrelating with each other. And what's very interesting to me is that I have a huge history that I'm bringing with me that was largely working alone. And what I'm realizing from the interactions in this group, and also from doing things with people outside of this group, that partnership is a huge part of changing the world. When we had the huge realization that the dynamic changed from a two-person partnership, when we added a third person into it, the dynamic changed, and the power of the partnership kind of went ballistic. Like all of a sudden, when there was a third person in the mix, it just became exponential. So that's part of it. That's a huge part of it. So I've been working with Joe a lot the last week, and we've just started out in 3-person groups and just get into the creative space together and see where it goes. We don't have any expectation or agenda for these meetings, and we've experienced miracle and magic in every single one of them. So that's where we're going, and that's changing the world one person at a time, by bringing them in and giving people an experience of creative space and what it's like, what it feels like, what the experience is. And that's making what we're doing viral. What's interesting too is that the creative structure for that particular gathering, it's just been showing up. The structure has been showing up. So it's ours to just open the door and let it come in.
Mm, mm. Craig, can I add on to that, because it's very powerful what you're saying.
Yep.
And what I'm getting, because I like to start with that. What I'm getting is basically when you say where you are and the history that you had, and you had to do it alone, it actually, that's not true. Because that word was spoken before you were born. And you had to do that journey of where you were and where you are now to experience that you can bring it across, that others, one by one, can hear that in the collective. Because this is a new language that we're speaking here.
Yes.
This is not for everybody. And this is when we come with knowing that my word for the day is favor. You have favor. Favor. And when we get into our heart, it's not cliche. It's not something, oh yeah, get into your heart. No, when you get into your heart, that's spirit. We got to get that. That's spirit. That's when we get out of our way, egoic agendas, our pride, our so-called egos or whatever. We get it out of our way, we get into the heart, and that is spirit. That's where the downloads come from. That is what I'm getting. Not what I'm thinking, not what I would like people to hear, because what I'm going to say is not always going to be accepted by everybody. And that's okay. It is okay. There's no judgment here. You can disagree with me to agree, because standing on your truth is not going to be an easy ride. But eventually, when you continue in it, it will set you free. So where you are now is just where you need to be, because it's the favor of God on your life. And this is why everybody on this call, and please God, whoever comes and joins, will have favor. They are favored. It is not you and I that's doing the work. As you know, you're just a vessel. This is when you really can come into spirit and say, allow me to know what I need to know. What do I need to know? What do I want? What is the obvious here? Because we're not here to save the world. We're not here to save the world. We all think we're going to save the world. It's all egoic, man. Because you want to get validated. You want to get like, oh, I'm so like, oh, look at me. But you are already changing the world because you're changing yourself.
Yeah. You change the world by changing yourself.
You are changing the world because you're changing yourself. You are the mirror, what you see in the world. You are the reflection of whoever. And everyone wants to be on the front platform. Look at me, I'm on stage. Oh, I'm so important. Yeah, let's clap hands here. But in the end, it is what you do behind the scenes. It's the intentions and motives of why you're doing something. And we all here on business. We all here have to make a life. That's not to say, but money always comes later. Money always comes later. So for that, I just bring my word of the day is favor. We are now ready in doing whatever we are doing, in knowing what is the person I'm becoming do right now. And that is changing the world.
Well, Nikki, you got a lot of power in you when you talk, girl.
Much love, Jeff. Much love. Big love. All my days, honey. And this is what made me know that this is what we come as a collective. And when you have leadership that leads you in such a way that you can come into your heart and say, I have always known this. This is something I've always known. It's nothing that you're giving to me that I'm hearing for the first time. But most importantly, it's familiar because I have practiced this behind the scene. What you do privately, you'll do public. I have been practicing this from day one, from a little girl, in all the chaos and all the dysfunction and all the abuse and all the affliction and all the rejection and all the abandonment. Oh my God, nothing can tell me anything because I've been there, done it. Trust me. I had it all and I had nothing. Yeah. But well, every single thing you can possibly do to me. Yeah. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. But what I choose is not a victim. I choose to be the creator of my life. That predominant, that thought pattern. Yeah. Taking action. Showing it in my behavior. Even when people that you think are your friends come against you. When there's business partners that betray you and you've been only loyal to them. And I speak this from my own experience now. This is me speaking. And you've only given. What do? They turn around, they put a knife right in your back. What do you do then? What do you do then? But I make space, my dear. I give space because I don't take revenge. I just make room for space because in the end, they're only gonna come. As I would put it in scripture, because this is the best way I can put it. Don't take revenge, but make room. Because eventually they will actually take their own knife and cut their own throat. It sounds not so, it sounds ruthless, but it's the truth. You do not have to take revenge on anybody.
Which is how we got here was by cutting our own throat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki.
Are you complete, Nikki?
When Jesse said thank you, Nikki, I said yes, I'm complete.
Awesome.
Because
Awesome.
I know I'm heard. I know I'm
Yeah.
heard. And to me, I'm not here to be validated anymore. I'm not here to be heard anymore. I'm here to be witnessed.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be a witness. To be a witness.
Yo, well, Nikki, man, I'd love to witness you some more sometime soon, all right?
I got to say thank you, Nikki, for that response. That was a real gift for me, to me. I've been anticipating for many weeks for you to just open up and let her rip. And you just really gave it today. You gave it all. I'm so overjoyed. I'm overjoyed and happy that you finally felt that you could do so. And I'm very blessed by what you said and how you delivered it. So thank you. And with that, Will, your invite is still there. So now you have a much better idea as to what you walked into.
Yeah, just making the switch over to the computer here. Here we go. Yeah.
What
wow,
does your
that was
bounce
awesome.
have to say?
Oh yeah, I am there now. I am now there. When I showed up, I was at 8.9 resistance. I always check in, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm aware of where I'm at, because I know where I want to be. So yeah, exactly. So like, it's important, right? It's like, well, for me it is anyways. It's important to start the day without the resistance. So if I'm in resistance to start, I'm not in my end result. I'm not in my heart. I'm in my head, and I'm like, it's okay if you want to be there, that's great, but I don't want to be there. Been there my whole life. And there's a lot of suffering there. There's a lot of ego, trying to control, resistance, anger, suffering. And like Nikki shared, I'm sure we all have many, many stories of horrible things we've been through. And we're not here to go into all that. But we all have that journey. Been there, done that. Know what that's like. Like Hannah says, bought the t-shirt, right? Like, been there, done that. No need to relive it. No need to continue on that path. So I got my word. Thank you, Nikki. I loved that share. I loved hearing your truth. And so that's my word for today, is truth. And So I found a technique from watching, and we just got Apple TV Plus, and there's a show on there by Oprah called The Me You Don't See. And it's, obviously they're talking about who we are on the inside, that secret person of the heart that other people don't see. And basically the whole thing is about mental illness, how, like, when the pandemic arrived and how people were dealing with it, how people were coping, and like how much it came up, that subject came up, and how are we going to deal with it? So Prince Harry was also a part of that show. And he shared a simple technique that he learned through psychotherapy. And it's an EMDR technique, which stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And so I tried it. It's a very, very, very simple technique. And what I noticed is I could be in 8.9 resistance like I was this morning, do the technique, and boom, be into about 0 resistance within about 1 to 2 minutes. And that's without having to go into innocence, without having to do some convoluted, complicated technique or whatever. So I just wanted to share that here. No one needs to do it, obviously, but if you're open to me sharing it, I can just show you how it's done. It's a simple little thing. Maybe someone will find some value in it.
Yeah, please, let's go.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So basically, it's a very, very simple thing. What you do is you cross your arms. Obviously, you take inventory of your resistance. Where is it at? Scale 0 to 10. You cross your arms, you put one hand on one shoulder, the other hand on the other shoulder, and it's going to be a cross tap. And then what you do with your eyes is you close your eyes, but what we're going to do is look that way when you tap on this shoulder, and then look that way when you tap on this shoulder. So with your eyes closed, you just look that way, look that way, look that way, look that way. And it's really that simple. And you just tap with your eyes back and forth.
You look the opposite direction from when the way you're tapping.
That's correct. Yeah, it's a little tricky, but
Yeah.
once you get the hang of it, and all it takes is maybe you could even count to 30. Do that 30 times, do it 20 times, do it 30 times, and then stop and take inventory of where your resistance is at. And what I've noticed is it goes way down really fast. Yeah. You can move your head, but it's almost better just you just kind of hold your head still and just move your eyes left and right, like all the way. So the funny thing is, what I noticed with this technique is when I did the very first recode, I bought the Rapid Recode from Chris back in May 2022. I'm like, what the heck is this recode stuff? I'm like, I gotta check this out. So I got it. I listened to my first recode, closed my eyes, and guess what happened? My eyes involuntarily started moving back and forth and up and down, and they were just like I was processing. And it was pretty intense, and it felt like my eyes were just unconsciously moving left and right, like really extreme. And I'm like, what the heck is that? That's really weird. Now that I've learned this simple technique, I'm like, that's what was happening. My unconscious was just unconsciously processing, and it was doing MDR on its own. My superconscious was basically, this is what we do. This gets the resistance down to 0. Oh, do I need a fancy recode to do that? No. So here's my truth today. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. And it's amazing how something that's so simple can be so powerful.
Thanks, Will, for sharing. So I noticed, like, first I was moving, I couldn't see you, so there's no way like I can see you, and so no one else can either. And so it was like, like it helps you see if you're going to share this with people, you can tighten your description, your instructions, because you can watch to see what did I make up without being able to see you, because you did it that you assumed I could see you.
Yeah, because I got my video on, but I guess you're live, so yeah.
Right. Things that we learn.
Good to know.
So it was like, and so I was moving my head the wrong way, and then you said, no, you're doing it wrong. And I was like, and I had real hard time getting my eyes to line up as you requested. But what I also noticed is, like, for the point of it is like, yes, I could feel my resistance going down. Really? And I was like, and that's the whole intention. It was like, can I feel it? Because what I noticed with it, though, it was just, it took my attention off of it. Didn't resolve it. It just took my attention off of it.
Okay.
And of course, that's going to lower it.
Mm-hmm.
That is the same as avoiding it.
Okay.
And so it's like, yes, that process is a very great process. And as it was like, well, what's my shorter process? And I said, I don't know. Is my shorter process.
And that tends to resolve the resistance, or just kind of get you out of it.
It is my anchor to resolve. It is my resistance anchor that gets me to peace, that I can choose how I want it, which resolves because I don't even care what the resistance is.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you care what the resistance is?
No,
yes, you do, because you always want to know.
Yeah. I want to be at zero.
That's just a pattern. Yeah. Or whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah. But you're never going to be. All you care about is that moment to take that next step to see what's the next one that's in front of me. Oh, the people that are here, the people that showed up are the ones that I'm going to work with. Yeah. That's mine. So I'll hand it over to Craig so that he can make sure that Will is complete on his invite in. And then if there was anyone else, then Will would be able to invite someone else. You see how we link this thing together? We beehive this thing together so that as people come in, and then when we're done, we complete. We have all had our breakthroughs, and then we go scatter, and then we gather again in the morning. So I turn it back to you, Craig.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually familiar with that exercise, Will. So thank you for the reminder. And for everybody else too, it actually does something physiological for you. So what it actually does is it balances out your left and right hemispheres of your brain.
There you go.
Okay, so that's why it's important, is because we're so used to being in our head, which is our left brain. Okay, and we kind of lose access to the right hemisphere of our brain, so it kind of helps to balance the two, and then it's actually easier to do what we're doing. So
hemisync.
Yep. Just so that you know that. In fact, my energy healer gave me this idea. He said, take a square piece of paper, like a sticky note or something like that, and draw an X on it, and stick it to the monitor of your computer. And every once in a while, just stare at the X, and that does the same thing. It evens out your brain hemispheres.
Because I guess being in the analytical mind that's just like left brain thinking, right? Like you're not really using your both hemispheres.
You're not using your whole brain, exactly.
Which makes you kind of dumb. You're stupid. And I'm speaking about myself when I say that, right?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about me too. So.
Well, another word they call it is insanity, insane, doing the same thing again and again and again, thinking you're doing it differently, but you're just changing the story.
So our work here is really, it's about interrupting patterns,
Mm.
identifying pattern, interrupt the pattern, and create a new one.
Because then you're in true choice when you can actually make a true choice.
Well, it's not even about being in true choice. It's about the pattern. It's about structure. Okay. So you're in an old structure. It's a pattern.
Mhm.
We identify the pattern. We interrupt the pattern, and we create a brand new structure,
Which
which is its pattern.
Which is why I say then you can make a true choice, because if you're stuck in the pattern, you can't make a
Right.
true choice. You're stuck in that old pattern.
Exactly. Your choice will be distorted if you're making a choice from there. Yeah.
Autopilot.
Yep. So I'm
Yay.
complete there. You complete?
Yeah, thank you, Craig.
Will? Thanks.
Oh, you're muted, Jesse.
Thanks, Will. Will, you had resistance to, I don't know, a couple of days ago, didn't you?
I think so. I don't
How's it been
I don't
since
remember
then?
what happened yesterday, a few days ago. Makes it hard to learn things when you forget so easily. Story.
Who forgets so easily?
Self-conscious.
Whose? Whose?
My self-conscious.
And why is that?
That's a good question. I've never really asked that question before. It's a really good question. This might just explain my life. Why is that? Because of the pain.
You need to hold on to it.
No, it's just interesting
Whoa.
realization.
Yeah, good. You see that pattern? That pattern started to take off. You reeled it in. Good job.
Oh, okay.
So just awareness is that it went, and then you said, okay, no, let's pull it back. Came back into your heart.
Oh, okay.
You know, asking, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? What's going on in your field?
Opened up a lot of questions. Because I know that self-conscious awareness is the current how do I put that into words? Current reality.
Look, all that matters is it's your words. Because you're the one that's created it to wrap them up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So does that mean because I like, yeah, you open that question up to me now. Now I'm like, now I want to answer it. Self-conscious. I can't think of the word. There's a word to explain it better. Current reality. It's like there's a disconnect from all past memories. Like I could have a conversation and 10 minutes later it's gone. Like I know it's in my unconscious memory. But present awareness has no idea what was said or what happened. And it's like I'm always starting new in every moment, which had made school really hard because it felt like I couldn't remember anything.
Mhm.
And
How old is it? How old is that?
This awareness of it.
You're just aware of it now. It's like, oh, how old was when you were in the school? What was the age? Or what classroom or what grade?
Getting 10. So what would that be? Grade 5? Huh. Wow. Is that like a part personality that branched off at that age?
I don't know. You ask it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a yes.
Hmm.
Smokes. It's been running my
just-
life.
Now, is this the first time?
It's been, wow. It's like my whole life.
Right. So it was like was it younger than this age? Just notice the event if it was. That was just an event that helped solidify it. We just got to a rift.
I got age 10, grade 5.
Okay.
Huh.
So is it the youngest?
I think I
Is that the
actually
young?
have
Is
the-
that where the pattern started?
No.
Can you say what age you were? What's the youngest you remember it?
age 6, going to school.
Good. Just notice what was going on with that. Wonderful. Just acknowledge all of that. And was this the first one? Not being smart enough, not being able to hold or remember.
I have a yes.
Good. Anything else connected with it? Yeah, there it is. That was the earlier one. Good.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that was maybe the original event, and then there was subsequent ones after that.
Yeah, your protector. So your protector controller that branched off right there. And it's all around, I don't know. Just imagine a young child sitting there, not knowing what things are, in curiosity and wonder, because your heart is just so full of it, and looking at the beautiful things there of nature, and having to put labels on it. It squashed. You were in conflict with your curiosity.
And then going into such a structured environment as school.
Yeah.
Which
Having to know.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like home, like home feels like being out in nature and being free. But then having to be in a room, sit down in a chair and focus, that's tough.
Couldn't bounce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not free to be me. Sit down, shut up, and listen.
So now an awareness, now have a conversation with that younger version, that child, that inner self going to school. Get down on a knee, do what you need to do, and have a conversation if we want to continue this way.
Man, I just found that's why I'm so drawn to nature, to go out and just experience that freedom I feel in nature, and that peace and that connectedness with everything. So I guess it must have felt like it was taken away. And so now that's my way of connecting probably with that, like fulfilling that younger version of me that was taken away from. Wow, very nice. Thank you, Jesse. That's a big realization.
I just use the simplest structure there is as questions.
I could just bring that younger version of me, place that younger version of me in my heart, and bring it with me, bring them with me up to this age. Now.
That's right. Show them all the choices, all the learnings, and now we can say, oh, from here together we're in alignment. There it is. See, like from this moment, and you all teach along the way. That's the lessons. That's what you have to promise to protect and honor. Yeah, that little child again, because you've told the protector that you will. And you will.
Yeah. Wow, beautiful.
Your true nature. This is your true nature. What we talked about, genius, serving your genius. That's one way we were able to serve your genius today, Will.
Oh, thanks, Jesse.
Yes, and next.
I don't know.
Now, what resistance do you have to saying, I don't know? I heard 0 in that.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, good.
Anyone else? Now, the point is, the contrast is that I don't know I heard here versus the I don't know I heard at the beginning. That loop tells me we're complete.
Cool.
Did anyone else hear it?
Might have to listen
with
again.
Will. I'm complete with Will. If this was a coaching session.
Yeah, they didn't have to go through a breakdown to have a breakthrough. Like society said, oh, you got to have a breakdown to have a breakthrough. Is that true? No, not necessarily. For some, yeah.
Well, in a way you did, but it happened in your vision, in your memory. It happened in your energy field, and you shifted it there so that now you go out here. That's part of being. That's different than the doing. That's the difference. That's when we look at that perspective, that's the difference. So that what the world says you have to do it, and what we're saying here as a creator is like, no, you can change all that and just be like, let it go, and then just go do.
You can just allow your
yes.
brain to process
say yes
it.
to what's in front of you. And even if you don't want to say yes, you say yes and it works out. I mean, I put $3,000 on the line and it was like, actually it was $5,000 on the line. I sure as hell didn't want to do it, but it worked out perfectly. I had to get kicked out of MagMind to get, for that to happen, but it was just an unintended consequence, Either way, saved me $5,000.
Oh.
All right, I'm getting close to the top of the hour. I want to open the floor for anyone else to share their genius, share what they value, what was useful for them. So if you were part of a coach or a student or learning in this, to feed back to the leaders, to the coaches, to them that are serving is always appreciated.
Yeah, I'll share a little bit. Yeah, the pattern that Will has about like checking his resistance and stuff. Mine is with health. So I always try to fix myself. And I always think like at the end, I'm going to get healthy. So now that's a big awareness. I noticed that a little while ago, but yeah, I just kind of reinforce it. And yeah, it's like I don't need to fix myself. You know what I mean? I can have this, you know, like it's probably the same step, but it's just a different structure. So that's a big awareness for me. And the other one is the more I know, intellectual, the more I don't know.
Mhm.
And that brings me back to my heart. And I'll share my word today because I've been invited, like, indirectly. My word for today is rediscovering. So rediscovering myself all over, from the nugget, from the womb. So where I come from, why did I come at this time? Like, what does it represent to come in November? All this stuff. So there's a reason behind everything. And it's rediscovering kind of all of it. I don't need to know everything, right? But just to learn myself, right? Learn myself better. And just, you know, Allison just opened a door for me. And I just turned the knob and I'm walking right in. And it's yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I'm going down the basement right now, you know, like pretty deep, but I'm excited. I have no fear. I want to know. I want to know the truth. So yeah, that's what I need to share, and I'm complete.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like Annette and Mona do an amazing love timeline that when people are ready, it opens that door. that is a whole nother level.
Oh,
Thanks,
Nava
Pascal. Anyone
level.
else? I know it's the top. Yeah, perfect. Well, let me end this then.